New this week from Marvel Comics, Venom, issue number 32, written by Al Ewing, art by Ken Lashley. This is going to be less of a traditional review and more of an informational one. If you've been following the channel, you've probably heard me say a couple times that the Hulk is my favorite Marvel superhero. But I should clarify that Venom ranks pretty high on that list as well. I have to credit Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's legendary cosmic horror run on Venom as being the comic that got me invested in the medium and in buying comics physically. And the reason I haven't talked about Venom that much on this channel is because the Legacy title is already dozens of issues in. It feels sort of strange to do a recap/contextualization for a comic this many issues in for a quick format video. But that being said, after issue 32, I feel like I have to talk about Venom in some way because, holy shit, is anyone else reading this? Like, I'm asking that genuinely, because this story has gone through so many changes since its inception 2 years ago, with Al Ewing and Ram V telling an intertwining split story following Eddie Brock and Dylan Brock, respectively. By the way, spoilers here on out regarding the current Venom, but stick around if you're interested in what's going on in Venom, because I think it's genuinely worth catching up on. It's just an insane roller coaster. So the original setup for this series directly followed the climactic, character-defining saga of the King in Black, which introduced a torrent of new Venom fans, completely reinventing the character in the process from a street-level bully to a cosmic god. So I and many other readers were asking the question, where the fuck do you go from here? Well, Ram V and Al Ewing bravely explored new ground with the character by taking the aesthetic of pulp science fiction films like Terminator and Back to the Future, and gave us not one, but two Venom tales at once. Ram V's storyline following a teenage Dylan Brock as he takes on the mantle of Venom, bonding with his father's symbiote in his absence. And Al Ewing taking us on an absolutely brain-bending ride as Eddie finds himself stuck in a time loop, a victim of his future self. This endgame version of Eddie refers to himself as Meridius and desires to become the true King in Black, ruler of all symbiotes. And while the series has largely continued with this format and original premise, it has also faced some traditionally challenging hurdles. For instance, over a year ago, Ram V had to exit the title to focus on other projects, which meant a new writer for the new Venom storyline and saw the introduction of the fantastically underrated Torunn Grønbekk. If you haven't read any of Jane Foster Valkyrie written by Torunn Grønbekk, then you're wrong, and you're the reason it got canceled twice, and you and I, we're done professionally. Torunn Grønbekk and Al Ewing, who introduced one of the most brutal Venom arcs we've ever had, focusing on Bren Waters and his symbiote Toxin and the Alchemex facility, breathing new life into the entire symbiote family in the process. Also saw the introduction of Black Widow into the comic, taking on her own symbiote, which was really cool, but I don't think anything has really come of it in the comics, and I also don't think I've seen a lot of commentary on the subject, which is insane to me. What's more, Venom had to contend with an extended event tie-in that felt completely tonally different from the intention of the series, and yet somehow Ewing made it work. I'm referring to the Dark Web and Goblin Queen event from Spider-Man, where the current iteration of Eddie Brock on his timeline journey found himself stuck in the Nightmare Realm and had to fight a bunch of demons and a possessed Ben Reilly and the Goblin Queen herself. It was just sort of a bizarre offshoot in the Venom timeline, but it was actually really emotionally impactful because Venom, Dylan Brock, had to fight his father, Eddie Brock, now called Bedlam, rampaging through New York City. And in the first time that they had been reunited in the series, Dylan finally realized he didn't need his father. And then we had the surprise tie-in to the Venom Lethal Protector prequel series, exploring more of Eddie and Dr. Doom's relationship. It's all just a testament to the amazing writers and artists that have been able to fit so much into this series and still make a cohesive plot that pushes the boundaries of what a Venom story can be. Because this title has made a lot of promises along the way, with a slowly developing narrative that kept expanding and felt, for a time, unlikely to land. But throughout this new era of Venom, we have proven the validity of Dylan as a successor to Eddie and as a hero in general, as he is thrust into superhero-dom in the role of Venom with chains and must confront a whole litany of enemies that he is ill-equipped to handle given his father's absence. Additionally, and probably most essentially, it has proven that Venom works as a cosmic hero and fills a distinct, albeit absurd niche in the cosmic faculty of the Marvel Universe. Specifically, it just makes me really happy that Eddie Brock, this dumb nobody from New York City, is intertwined with the storylines of Kang and Dr. Doom now. Tell that to a Venom fan 10 years ago. They would laugh you out of your local Comic-Con and probably put a cigarette out on you and probably steal your lunch money. So finally, in issue number 32, we have the climactic conclusion of everything that's come before. We're entering new territory, which feels so daunting because so much has changed. I mean, main characters have died and been resurrected, and we just had a fight between God Carnage and God Eddie Brock. What's more, we finally put an end to the cyclical timeline that Eddie has been trapped in for 32 issues, which was such a unique, epic spectacle where Eddie literally had to face himself through various emotionally manifested forms, all with really cool persona names, which, thank God, because that would have gotten real old real quick. I'm Venom, and that's Venom 2, and that's Old Venom, and that's New Venom, and that's Big Venom, and that's Little Venom, and that's Venom, but it's all lowercase. Anyway, I guess this video has become an appreciation or highlight for amazingly talented writers like Al Ewing, who demonstrate just how exciting and prolific the medium of comic book writing is, and for continuing to make Venom one of my favorite ongoing stories. I mean, there's nothing else like it. Remember to support your local comic book store and pick up the first 5 volumes of Venom out now.